So,
The older gentleman.
Oh, they are ladies. Oh, sell me and fuss away. Oh,
sell me, huh?
yeah.
Speaking. Though they don't seem to have been particularly geared up, neither do they seem to have really brought a retinue. They are people who are known to be knights.
So far, the only one who's gonna be in the joust are these two.
It's most likely just going to be single knights and
yeah.
lords.
But
So,
I don't know if they're single or not.
no idea.
For other people who show up.
Trance. Yeah, we know them.
Well, everyone but Oswald, having been dressed for both melee and joust. Oswald is carrying a very gnarled piece of oak with him.
A piece. He's just carrying some oak.
Well, a staff, basically.
Oh, is he
Or
using
the
it?
others are actually armed.
Oh, okay.
Seems like not much was spared for him.
Poor lad.
Another person who will come early is indeed someone Sir Ashra asked for. He will be quick to come and talk to. And that would be Sir Laygood.
Ooh, is Sir Laygood.
Yes. It's someone that he's quite a bit older than Elric, sort of Sir Ashra's time and friend from when they were younger. We haven't really had a lot of conversation with him, but he's generally a man who is very friendly and likes to drink a whole damn lot. But he can hold it. He is very, very durable. And, he suddenly also seems to be dressed for it. He is no joke, simply for his strength and his endurance, really more than anything. Generally not even using a shield, but sometimes simply grabbing the opponent's blade out of their hands with his mailed gauntlet.
Disarming with his hand. Interesting.
And he will certainly sort of more approach Ashra to give him sort of a bit of a crushing bear hug. Not really something you see a lot of, as he laughs heartily, throwing some sort of candied fruit on the ground. Ashra, it is too long since I've been here in the Reach. All this sugary things, honey, it doesn't suit me anymore. Well, up in the north, they take meat, they salt it, and they cut it in little strips. That's the real thing. Asher sort of coughs a little bit after having been half crushed by this, as he sort of straightens his and brushes his clothes off. The other man clearly much less interested in his general looks. He's wearing sort of a breastplate and a lot of what seems to be leathers out around. He's a bit red-faced right now, either because he's been drinking, or because his outfit is a little too warm to be this far down south. If it wasn't winter, he most certainly would, be in danger of dying from the sheer amount of heat he would retain. As he looks to Alaric. And young Sir Alaric, it has been years since I've seen you. As he looks up at you.
Alaric will smile back and say, yeah, many years. I can't quite recall the last time.
I heard we were going to fight you this time.
Shrugs and says, maybe. Guess we'll see.
Something about brawling and throwing sticks. Imagine that's your handiwork.
Kind of smiles slightly and says, surprisingly, no. No.
Now you have someone better here, then. So that'd be hard to imagine. Maybe even I could have a bit of a challenge taking you down.
Grins and says, I would imagine so.
Spits around says, I don't think I won't take you up on that. I expect to see you there.
Alaric smiles and says, I wouldn't dare not to.
Says good. Good. And you better win. Can't let this old fool win over you. If no one can beat me at this point, never had been able to, then what are they gonna do when I die? Just cut down all the competition?
I would imagine so. Get rather dull.
Jeez, I should have taken an apprentice 20 years ago when they offered one.
Perhaps.
Well, Terrell certainly doesn't seem the worse for it. He sort of looks at Sir Ashra, sort of a feigned dislike for his generally not as sort of physically strong suit as this man. Regardless, it's going to be good, I think. Was it the Tony at the Westlands came directly here? Lucky I was going this far south anyway. I was following the Longthorn. That man knows how to Tony, though he sort of stopped saying anything looking at Ashra and says, well, anyway. That's the one thing they haven't got up north. They're no fun, you see. Good ale, good food, but no fun. Like they... Well, I suppose they don't have as much of it as down here.
I hear the Northerners are quite dull when it comes to...
I haven't been that far north. Riverlands, son. Eerie a little bit. That place was no fun at all. Just all mountain men and honor boys.
Oh, we have an eerie knight in our keep at the moment. He's, well...
Dull boy.
Very,
Put him in the brawl and I'll teach him a few a few things.
grins a bit and says, if I can convince him, I'll certainly see to it.
Imagine that would be difficult. Some knights don't like laying in the mud or the grime or, you know, it's a shame. So there's potential in men like you that push his knuckles against your chest to see if he could sort of push you over.
Probably unlikely to do so, I'd imagine.
He always seems fairly strong.
Yeah?
More robust than pure strength, though.
Hmm.
Could probably keep doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Regardless, I'll be setting up a tent here somewhere. Unless you've got a free room at the keep.
Lorik smiles and says, if I could offer a room, I would, but the keep is rather small after the rebuild.
Man, you didn't give this buck one, huh? Looks to Ashra. Wouldn't choose him over me, surely. You know his reputation. You know what he does. There won't be a bedroom after he's done with it.
Oh, it might just be some walls, a ceiling, and a floor, but I can't well refuse a Tyrell and my old tutor.
Yeah, he ever was one for misusing that name. He looks for Ashra. Should have been a lay good on top here. That would have been something. Just landed knights. But, at least there's little responsibility, if any. You see. One day we'll be lords as well. We'll have a castle like this one. Just, gotta win a few more times. At least there's only one Tyrell to compete with here.
Lara grins and says, yeah, Tyrells seem to be a lot more scarce the further into the marshes you go. And the closer to the Stormlands.
Understandably. Looks around. So, what do you think about the turn-up so far? Gonna be a good competition?
Lark shrugs and says, it's been a while since I've been in the tourney game. I can't remember who's good and who's not. But I hope to crack some skulls.
Let me tell you, the older they are, generally the better they are. Young ones ain't got the skill. They're too They haven't seen real battle.
Not war-hardened. Or just real battle-hardened.
No, it's... Then again, it's only to first blood. Shouldn't be much of a problem.
I hope not.
Gotta see who I should go with, though. Just looking towards Fuzzaway and Selmy. If you'll excuse me, my lords. Yeah. He's away. I'm sure someone looks after him. Selmy says, I'm sorry he's such an ass. He then smiles. Pat your little bag and says, "Oh, anyone you fancy?"
Well, as you're the oldest and perhaps some say wisdom comes with age, who would you suggest out of the lot?
Says, "Well," he looks down. Looks like only those three over there, Trent boys, are dressed for actual melee. Yet the three of them would imagine they would ride together, or move together, as it is.
Larkin Alden says they tend to leave the youngest behind, so he may not compete.
Well, if you want to go there, then be my guest. They seem like dour people. Gotta find someone with more energy, more, gusto.
How does Selmy and Fossway still handle themselves?
I haven't seen them at Tony before. They are knights, certainly. They, by reputation, are pretty decent at what they do, though they seem too concerned with matters. Perhaps something at home not going right. Wouldn't maybe have the chance of losing. Not everyone who comes here is gonna compete. Some are just here to speak, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Legard wouldn't know. He ain't got an eye in him.
Could I do some sort of like the status tournament roll to see who Alaric would probably think be the best as a third? If you can wrangle
Of
them.
these people?
Of these people at the moment, yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know about the... I mean, I can tell you some things without. You know that these two, though they probably aren't really dressed for going for melee, certainly both have been in some before, when they were younger especially. They are both have a decent reputation. Nothing truly amazing, but certainly not terrible. They've certainly done decently well for themselves. Acted honorably and such. Chances are, though, they're more here to speak on behalf of their fathers or their families with other similar-minded people. Perhaps they haven't really been allowed to play too much after having gained a fair age without, setting too much of a family yet. These two, well, don't really seem to be dressed for melee either. They have brought horses and lances and that sort of thing. Chances are they're just here to compete for the girl. These three are in a group. So, well, presumably, unless you wanted to try to engage with them, then not them.
Nah, fuck them.
Legard seems pretty durable, at least. Would worry about him going down first, anyway. But of course, there's going to be more days and more people arriving. Lots of more people arriving.
Yeah, best to hold off, I think.
Sure. Nods. And, shrugs and simply... So, makes sense to me. He will return to the, to just sort of browsing around all the stalls and whatnot. Over the next few days, a few more people begin to arrive, and people sort of begin to bustle a little more in their way of behaving. You
Hmm?
See, people arrive. More people on this tiny map. Should have had that 9,000 times 9,000.
Tarlies.
We have a high tower.
Yeah, there's a high tower and a Tarly.
There's
Tarlies
of
would
course
probably
many other
join.
people who are of little note, hedge knights and the like.
Yeah.
Don't
we
really catch your radar, or what you say.
want real men. So I know that Salwyn Tarly's a great commander, but what about his son, Sam?
His son is known as the Savage.
The Savage, huh? Oh, the Shining Knight. That sounds promising. Oh, the Green Knight. Oh. Shining
They're
has
Knight.
to
always
be-
pretty much at a torment of you mystery knights who don't show who they are before you defeat them in battle. Generally,
It looks like our guards are going to have to immediately get to work. There's 2 individuals who were expressly forbidden for attending, and they're going to have to be shamed for it.
Decim will say that he actually later decided to send them a nice courtier's invitation
What?
because he thought they would be too close to make more of enemies of.
Alright.
I'm going to have to have a word with him
To
later.
quote.
Yeah.
The
I
person who fucking stabbed the future heir of the house in the neck? No, there is no tolerance.
Oh, apparently there is.
Too late.
All right, Jonas, whatever.
Well, sure, Jonas.
Looks like he's going the way of his brother, incapable.
Is it Andrew who did that, or
Gregor.
Yeah, Gregor. Oh, okay.
Gregor? Well, Andrew is hot, so that's fine.
Okay.
All right, man.
Glad you used that as your justification for that.
Well, he's hot. It can't be him.
Decim shows up with.
You know who else is hot? People who live in Dorne.
That's
This is
true.
the sun.
That's true. Just look at Rosette. Oh. I'm not hitting on your wife.
Hello, sir.
Rosette certainly wants to go down there and look for a third as well.
Well, let's go.
So Jonas didn't change his mind and invite Peak, right?
Well, they haven't shown up.
They're too close to actually make more enemies out of.
Fucking Peak.
Why is Decim here?
Wait, is
Decim is
Rose,
talking to people.
Oh.
so Rose and Nemo are competing. They're looking for a third.
What?
Yep.
Wait, what?
You and Rosette, remember?
What about us?
Traitor. Looking for a
Saying-
third.
I'm saying the 2 of you are competing, looking for a third.
Well, Rosette came to Nima, and Nima couldn't say no to that.
Rosette doesn't imagine winning, but surely showing that she can beat someone would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe her husband would join them. But the sword, the house.
The sword is not.
Surely, if he wishes to shame these Ashfords, then fighting against them would be great.
Piqued his interest.
Oh, man.
Or we could just
1 second.
find,
1
Craven
second.
roll.
or we could just
Well
find someone
played.
there.
Oh yeah.
Lately,
did.
why do I always have to be the third wheel?
That fight is, if that happens, that is definitely going beyond first blood.
You know, if they are gonna go at each other, Nima's just gonna, you know what? I'll go and get something to drink.
Wow. What a useless way to protect someone of the house. Let me go get a drink. Have fun getting stabbed in the neck again.
Yep.
No, it's the wife and men.
No, I'm not talking about them.
So-
I'm talking about Ashford.
Oh.
I think we can presume that Decim would probably tell Nima, watch out for Lanus.
I
Same as
can't
the
watch
Ashfolds
out
are
for
here.
him in a melee.
Decim is busy talking to important people.
Just around, like, near the
He's-
Ashfords, just watch out for Lanus.
All he tells you to do is not get drunk like in Highgarden. even though there's lots of, like, Cider Hall brought a lot of cider. And it's not pricey because they are celebrating a great expansion to their fields. As many people begin to leave for the city of Appleton, they have been able to acquire a lot of land, which they have used to expand their orchards. So in the future, they can make even more of the great golden cider. Taste
Right.
of glory.
Well, Nima's not gonna get drunk if she's gonna be in melee.
Yeah. So if there's anyone you wish to talk to, do say so as people sort of mingle amongst themselves.
Well, I would just go for who's hot, so that's a bad idea.
Well, Seth would say that then Lanus is the perfect choice.
I'll be complimentary back with that.
Oh my god, Lanus.
Well, Rosette is attractive. Not as attractive, but
So,
Lanus, seriously?
Well,
so out of these guys, out of these many guys, who does Alaric reckon would be the best bet for a third?
well, a lot of these people are young, which means that you don't really know much about their fighting style. Ashra will say that he invited these two guys up here, Sir Willem and Sir Riceley. Sir Hightower, well, who knows? Maybe he was getting really bored in Highgarden. Unimaginable as it is. He's known to be a pretty serious knight, doing the whole honorable knight thing. Certainly a man who has some skill. There are, like, mystery knights. Who knows who they would be? I mean, the whole point is kind of not to.
Yeah.
They are generally a few words, but I mean, who knows? It could be one of the princes hiding in there.
Oh my.
Sir Willem, well, he's a skilled man. He wields a pike. Generally prides himself fighting cavalry on foot. Not sure how well he would do in a melee, but I mean, he's a skilled enough man. A good knight as well. Eden is, well, honestly, a bit of a fool, but he is not bad in a battle, wielding a halberd. Generally a dangerous foe. If anything, his problem would be that he usually prefers lighter armor. So Ashra would recommend, well, whoever you think might be good. He's not from the marshes, really. Mostly knows Stormlander or Reachmen. And, well, he knows that those people up there are pretty decent, all of them. Not really much a problem.
Yeah. Is
You could, of course, go for your ally,
that's what
Tallies.
Sam Tarly called the Savage. What is there a particular
Yes.
reason?
Well,
know
he's known to
hit
not fight honorably, really. He actually will say that he has a reputation. He's never seen it, but he has a reputation for being a bit of a madman, like absolutely crazy.
Right.
No inhibitions. He'll a peasant would come begging to him, and he would stab her through the eye socket, just to see the blood. Just, Savage Sam, they say. I have no doubt that he could hurt whoever he's fighting quite a bit. But, well, the question is if you would set instructions to see. It's not a knightly way of fighting.
No.
I, personally, though, wouldn't want to be up against him. Not sure I would trust him to just wound. And if there are people you don't want to be against, try to be on their team.
Well, Argnons. And Laygood, do you reckon he'll join in the melee?
He usually joins in anything.
No, he seems a competent man,
He is.
from what I remember.
Usually gets wounded halfway through and can't compete in the rest.
So, out of character, I'm seeing Sam
lot of
Tarley being like a wild card. He could be great, or he could just ruin it. Eden Risley, the guy who uses the halberd, could be a solid choice. Hightower, I mean, he's a knight. Honourable knight, dude. Could be pretty solid.
It was considered for the Kingsguard once.
Well, yeah, pretty.
Where his father didn't really like it, and neither did he, so it wasn't actually suggested.
Laygood could be a good choice. Providing he doesn't... Mansa Laygood could be a good choice. Provided he doesn't get injured beforehand.
You looking for feedback, Mr. Talking Out of Character Halldamir? Or are you
Yeah,
just
I'm
like,
I'm looking
okay.
for some form of feedback.
Personally, I would not take Savage Sam.
I would actually, that would be my vote.
Really?
Putting him on your team.
That's the thing. He's a wild card. He could be either fantastic or odd demise.
There's political considerations involved in that our house has had favorable attitudes towards House Tarley for a while. Lanny's mother, for instance, was a Tarley. There's also
He's your cousin, technically.
Yeah.
There's the hope of continuing to foster relationships with someone who's literally on Peak's doorstep. And if he has a sour reputation of actually injuring and wounding people going beyond First Blood, maybe you don't want to be subjugated to that.
It's very true.
Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of panicking now if he's gonna, skewer Lenny or Rosette now.
We'll be fine, maybe. I hope.
It's more
If
like
you
his
get
enemies.
skewered,
who
it's
do
not
that.
on me.
Well, maybe
I can't
you
imagine
could-
he'll just outright attack somebody.
Look at that wild man.
But he's so attractive, Tina. How could you be so?
I'm
like,
talking about Trent.
Yeah, he's so old. Shit.
He looks wild.
And I just want to say something as well. He looks a lot like Alistair from Dragon Age.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, isn't that the point?
But
That or blame him for everything and then die so he can live forever in terror.
Given his
All right.
reputation, he probably wouldn't mind.
so
Well, at least I would.
the last person to say their piece would be Dark about this.
Then, you know what? Sure. Choose Sam. I bet maybe he's gonna be an ass and be like, no, I don't want...
Halldamir was asking for Dark to give his opinion, not for you to
Yeah,
fucking land more barbs on it.
I just want to say, maybe he's gonna be like, no, I don't want to be on your team.
There is always that possibility, but I am kind of showing up as with good reputation and a Tyrell.
You're fighting to win, while Rosette is more fighting to show that she can.
Yeah.
So, Dark, your opinion?
If I can actually say my opinion, then I'm,
Yes, say it, man.
So I don't think Laygood's a good idea. It's too likely he might get wounded from something.
Mm-hmm.
It's too dangerous an option.
My thoughts exactly.
I don't think that Eden's a good idea. As you said,
Because of the light armor.
He's light armor. He's a bit foolhardy. It's too much chance he's going to get wounded, I feel.
My thought exactly as well.
Sam, as much as I hate the idea, I love the idea.
Yeah, alright. I think that's a pretty solid vote because I was thinking him as well.
I mean, the alternative, I would actually suggest taking one of the unnamed knights, but that'd be fucking hilarious if the knight isn't revealed. It's actually Halen Caladan, and that looks like
Oh, yeah.
fuck me.
Or he pulls off his helmet, it's actually a Targaryen. It's like,
We should have chosen... Oh, Rosette, we should have chosen a nameless knight.
Well, I suppose we could split up into even more teams.
I don't want to do that.
I think this team will be good enough.
He looks to
Alright.
him and says, maybe you could go and pick up two of them. That could be amusing. I'm sure we can find a third.
Wow. Ouch.
Well, if you prefer, I think it's good for... my brother would probably like me to fight at my husband's side. That's a good show of how we intend to do things. But the third one could be anyone. And, well, who knows who they might be. If you could... She just smiles and lowers her voice a little bit. If you could become friends with someone important through that, then, well, who knows where you could end up.
That's not what I do. I don't become friends.
That's please. You were with me and Bree all the way out into nothingness.